And good evening to you tonight. I'm Marnie Hughes. We continue to follow breaking news tonight in Ukraine and the Russian siege of the sovereign nation still underway as we speak. The biggest attack on a European state since World War II. Right now, Ukrainian forces are battling Russian troops to save their democracy 24 hours after Vladimir Putin started a war. Since then, the Pentagon says Russia has fired more than 160 missiles into Ukraine. Ukraine's president tonight saying 137 people are dead, many of those civilians, 316 more injured, and more blood will be shed. The takeover sending shockwaves around the world. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken saying tonight that he is convinced Vladimir Putin's goal is to overthrow the Ukrainian government. That could have global implications. In just moments, I'm going to be talking to a professor who just fled Ukraine's capital, leaving many students and friends behind. But we want to go now to Kelly Meyer, live in Washington, D.C. tonight with the very latest on this developing situation. Kelly.
And Marnie, as you said there, the Secretary of State also saying tonight that Putin has ambitions beyond Ukraine, citing his ambitions to reconstitute the Soviet Empire. We also heard from a senior defense official today that it was their assessment that Putin was prepared to go in big and threaten Kyiv, the capital city, his goal to decapitate the government. Where it goes from here and just how much territory Putin is trying to grab, they just can't say.
Putin chose this war.
Tonight, President Joe Biden hitting back at Russia, unleashing a wave of new sanctions set to punish Russian President Vladimir Putin for invading Ukraine.
This is going to impose severe cost on the Russian economy, both immediately and over time.
President sanctioning the second largest bank in Russia with $250 billion in assets and a slew of Russian elites, adding that they, quote, should share in the pain. Putin himself wasn't included on that list, but Biden says sanctioning him isn't off the table. Adding to the response, Biden announcing a new deployment of U.S. troops to bolster NATO allies, sending 7,000 U.S. forces to deploy to Germany. The Pentagon says the bulk of the troops will be coming from Fort Stewart in Georgia. The president promising
our forces are not and will not be engaged in the conflict with Russia in Ukraine.
Tonight, Ukrainian forces fighting for themselves. Ukrainian President Zelenskyy ordering his military to remain ready and banning men ages 18 to 60 from leaving the country. 137 civilians and military personnel already killed in just the first 24 hours of conflict.
And Marnie, we know tonight that the Ukrainian President Zelenskyy is remaining in the capital of Kyiv, but he has moved his family to an undisclosed location. He says he knows he is target number one and his family target number two by Russia. Marnie?
Kelly, we're also hearing of cyber attacks tonight hitting government websites across Ukraine. Are you hearing of any warnings here in the States yet in terms of cyber warfare?
Well, what we are learning is the Department of Homeland Security is taking the lead on watching this. They are monitoring Russian activity, we're told, and they are right now preparing to respond to any potential attacks. Marnie, this is a whole new level of warfare here. It's taking this conflict to an entirely new level, complicated and more dangerous than ever.
Thanks for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.